Of all the players the Cavs selected during the 2022 NBA draft, the one that is seldom discussed or is honestly still kind of a mystery to most fans happens to be the first of the Cavs' 3 second-round selections. That would be none other than the 39th overall pick, Khalifa Diop. One of just 8 players of the 58 total chosen from that draft who has yet to see NBA action. Diop was a draft and stash pick who already had 2 full seasons of high-level experience in the Spanish ACB under his belt. He was among the more proven selections. That said, he was still developing, and so it made sense to leave him be as he was honing his skills with Gran Canaria. Interestingly enough, I actually covered many of his strengths and weaknesses in the build-up to the 2022 draft. Just kind of hoping that they would select him, and when they did, trust and believe I was elated. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it in the description. Diop would spend the 2022-23 season with Gran Canaria, where he would have probably the best statistical season of his career, putting up averages of 7.9 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 block while shooting 60.1% from the field across 59 appearances between Eurocup and Liga ACB. He was named the Eurocup Rising Star and was especially effective as a pick and roll threat.
Arriba para Khalifa. Khalifa. Mamita. Para Khalifa. Bueno, esto es un Spanish.
Juega para empatar el partido, incluso con un triple ponerse por delante. Bueno.
Llega a manos del de Vila, no Velázquez el truco. Ahí juega Ferran Basas en la continuación. Viene como un cohete. ¡Por favor! ¡Qué animal! ¡Uf! ¡Khalifa Diop! ¿Pero qué ha sido? ¡Pero Khalifa! Esto es más kilos de comida.
Now, watching all of his tape, I was really intrigued by what he could potentially bring to the table as a rim-running traditional 5. But unfortunately, the big man did not participate in the 2022 Summer League, so our first real look at Diop stateside came during the summer of 2023, fresh off winning a EuroLeague championship with Gran Canaria. He would suit up for 3 games for the Cavs, where he looked unpolished at times, honestly. The biggest thing that I noticed was how quickly he got himself into foul trouble. He committed 12 total fouls through 3 games and just 52.1 total minutes of action, with 6 of those coming in the Cavs' July 9th victory over the Toronto Raptors, in which he saw the floor for just 18 minutes. In a game that is becoming more and more offensively prioritized, and by extension has made playing defense harder as a result, being able to play without fouling is vital to establishing yourself as a reliable contributor, especially at the 4 and 5 positions. This is something that has plagued him on the international stage as well, as he is currently averaging 6.2 fouls per 36 minutes over the duration of his 6-year pro career. It's a work in progress to say the least. However, it wasn't all bad news. Diop was effective on the glass, pulling down 24 total rebounds over the course of his 3 appearances, and his 8 per game average ranked second on the team to Isaiah Mobley's 8.3 per contest. He certainly has the skill set to be an effective rebounder at the NBA level, as he knows how to properly box out and put himself in position to snag loose boards. That much is true. Another area that impressed me was his screen setting. Diop was able to set some pretty well-timed picks and use dribble handoffs to free up shooters like Sam Merrill, something that we have seen Jarrett do very, very well. We have seen how important it is to get movement shooters like Max Strus and the aforementioned Merrill open looks by doing this, so if he could replicate this within the second unit for the Cavs, it would go a long way, and the DHO work is only part of it. Diop has a legitimate feel for the pick and roll and can be a devastating rim runner. With how much the Cavs operate out of the pick and roll, this is a vital skill set for any big man coming into the franchise to have. He clearly runs the floor well.
Right. 3 seconds. Porter beats the clock. Jump. Gets it to drop.
Has a nice back to the basket game.
Men, size, and jumping ability. Jump over Grady Dick.
And most surprisingly, he is an underrated passer.
And he kicks it out at the last second to Nance.
Now, defensively speaking, I see some real versatility here. Similar to Evan Mobley and Jarrett Khalifa Diop has shown the ability to step out onto the perimeter and defend smaller, quicker players. If switched upon, he can genuinely hold his own. That, to me, is a good tool to have in the shed in today's switch-heavy league, where teams are constantly looking to exploit mismatches and force switches, especially in trying to get big men out of the paint. In addition to that, he can be a reliable rim deterrent, swatting shots with authority. The key word here, though, is can. I think he has the skill set to be a true rim protecting presence, but is still far too prone to falling victim to foul trouble. Overall, it was an eye-opening performance for Diop, who came into the experience with the belief that he was indeed NBA ready, stating, "If they want me here to stay, I'm ready. It's not my decision, but I'm ready for anything." Look, I will never down anybody for believing in themselves. It's a key component in making it to the pros. You gotta have confidence in yourself, but sometimes you get humbled or are shown that maybe you aren't as ready as you thought you were. That's what I thought was the case with Diop during Summer League. He displayed flashes of potential, but hadn't quite put it all together yet. He would end the 2023 Summer League with averages of 4 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.7 assists, while shooting 62.5% from the field before returning to Spain because of a prior commitment. And upon returning to Spain, Diop wouldn't suit up for Gran Canaria once more. He would instead sign a multi-year contract with Baskonia, and the 2023-24 season hasn't been kind at all to Diop, who has played sparingly partly due to injuries. Most notably an injury to the scapulae ligament in his left wrist, which required surgery, effectively ending his season in early February. Head coach Dusko Abanovic announced that Diop would need 5 months to recover from the procedure he underwent on his wrist. The big man averaged 3 points and 2.3 rebounds in just 9.4 minutes per game through 25 total appearances. When he did play, he showcased many of the same skills that made him a second-round pick in the 2022 draft. Rim running, pick and roll sets, catching lobs, it's all there. Alas, it's essentially a lost season for the Senegalese center. And if we are going off the 5-month timeline dating back to February, the injury and subsequent surgery may also result in him missing the 2024 NBA Summer League. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, it will rob the Cleveland Cavaliers of another chance to evaluate the progress that he has made so far. When they made the choice to select him, they knew that they would be playing the long game with his development, but at this point, who knows when we will see or hear from Diop again stateside. Overall, as of now, Diop is indeed in the mold of a traditional 5. He does not space the floor one bit, but he does know how to roll to the rim, catch lobs, and has a decent post game. He still needs some seasoning, but it's also not crazy to think he could eventually step into a Tristan Thompson-like role off the bench eventually. With all of that being said, little info has been divulged about the Senegal native from the Cavs. This has left many wondering what the team plans on doing with Diop, or if we will ever even see him in any true NBA capacity. What do you think is next for Khalifa Diop? Should the Cavs take a chance on bringing him over? Do you think they should continue to take the wait-and-see approach with him? Let me know in the comments. Go Cavs.